140 BPM plus normally, and it's so we're bordering on drum and bass for some reason. It doesn't sound like that, but it's when you write a song that's actually a slow tempo, you've got two choices, right? You either write a song that's a slow tempo and you make it a slow song, so it might be a ballad or whatever, or you do something like that, which actually, when you count it out, is quite slow, but it really drives underneath. And I thought that was really smart, the way that it did that, and that really, from a musical point, that really got me. And I say from a musical point, I'm not, as you know, a very technical musician, but I can count, and I was counting along to that and thought, that's really clever. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Really good tune, really nice tone on the guitar as well, actually, which was lush.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, and I did get the STP vibe, and I also got little bits of like the Chili Peppers in there every now and again, and even like a couple of licks actually reminded me of some Sublime in there. Actually, that was actually kind of neat. So it did have a lot of cool different tones about it, and it was definitely it was a little bit more laid back, but it had so much good stuff to it that I was like, yeah, I was really enjoying it. So it was really, really cool. I was digging it.
Right on. Well, you kind of gave me about 3 different sidetracks there, Brian. First with SCP, I've been listening to Core the past few days. So
amazing album.
Yeah, exactly. With like Sin, it's probably one of my favorite songs on that album. So I was listening to it, obviously singing along. And the other one was Sublime, because July 15th. They have a festival called Rock the Park, and on the Saturday show it's going to be Offspring, and it's going to be Sublime with Rome, which I've never heard before, so I'm kind of like interested to see that, make sure I didn't waste my money, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, Sublime died when Brad Knoll passed away, or OD'd.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So... and there's one more band you mentioned, and for some reason I'm blanking. You mentioned 3 bands in there: Sublime,
Chili Peppers.
Thank you, Chili Peppers. Now, right on Chili Peppers, old Chili Peppers. I've been getting a friend too, because let's go, listen to this. Hear this? Like, no, it's like, you're joking, all right? You've never heard anything from like Freaky Styley or Uplift Muffle Party Plan. It's like no, it's like, oh, dude, man, you're missing so much. Who gives a crap about John Frusciante, man? You got to listen to Hillel Slovak, like.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually funny. 2 things off of what you said, and I don't want to rip up too much, but the one of the best shows that I ever saw in my entire life, and I feel absolutely blessed that I was born at the time that I got to go and see it. But one of the best shows that I ever saw in my entire life was when I got to see the Offspring at Woodstock '99.
Nice.
And it was in my opinion, out of all 3 days of music, the Offspring and Korn totally stole that entire festival. It was fantastic. The Offspring was one of the most amazing bands I ever saw, and it was the first time I ever saw them, and I was only half into them. And they were absolutely incredible, blew me away, absolutely amazing. And secondly, in regards to the Chili Peppers, yes, there are a lot of other guitarists albums to get into other than their modern stuff, and I am actually a huge fan of the One Hot Minute album with Dave Navarro.
Nice, Jane's Addiction.
Short-lived. Absolutely love that album from front to back, and I still play it to this day. One of my favorites.
You know what?
I'm gonna have to come in here because you're gonna get me going now. I think the Offspring was the second kind of big live band I ever saw. So I'd seen like loads of local bands and pub bands and stuff, and they absolutely blew me away. And you're absolutely right. They are one of the best live acts out there. I remember they played Bad Habit to start with, and everything was dark. It was in Wembley Stadium, which is a massive venue. Not Wembley Stadium, Wembley Arena, sorry, which is still not as big a stadium, but it's still a massive venue. And it was dark, and there was this kind of they had like a smoke machine or whatever going on, and you could kind of like feel goosebumps. And then what's his name, the bass player, Greg something, he's got these LEDs on the fretboard, and all you can see is his bass lighting up, and then he plays that intro to Bad Habit, and it was just from that point onwards, that was like one of the best gigs I've ever been to. And it was literally the second. The first was Green Day, and that was the second kind of bigger band bigger venue I'd been to see a bigger band, which was really cool. That was in about '98 or something like that. So that, and also I'd just like to add, Core is one of the best albums ever made. I don't think enough people talk about that. It's really good. So, that's my 2 cents in that.
Yeah, when I went to Woodstock, the Offspring opened with "All I Want."
Nice.
And that was incredible. And Korn opened up with "Blind."
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Just shredded the place. I never saw so many people doing there was a wave of people as they were bouncing and just going nuts. I was closer to the front, and I turned around, and I'll never ever forget that scene as long as I live. I saw so many people, and it was like a sea of people just going up and down. It was the most incredible thing. I wish I would have taken a picture of it.
Man, awesome. You know what? One more spin-off of that, just because like Korn is one of my favorites, and I've seen them numerous times, and I'm not kidding. I have all ticket stubs, so they're all within their respective CDs. You know, right? From the very start, from the self-titled to Life is Peachy to Follow Leader to Issues, you know, and even what's it called? Oh man, oh Christ, I can't remember. Not look yourself in the mirror, but the one right before that, I'm blanking on it for some reason.
I'm terrible with their album names.
Normally, I'm pretty good with it, but I'll think of it before we're done the show. But anyways, point being
not
is
Follow the Leader.
Yeah, point being is no, it wasn't Follow Leader. I was Follow Leader, Issues, and then it was right after Issues, and I can't remember the name of it.
There was one called Untouchables that I remember buying.
That's it. Thank you, Untouchables. Thank you. That's the right one. So, anyways, but point being is when I saw them, because I saw them twice for Issues, because they had the Sick and Twisted tour, and then they kind of did like a tour, kind of like whatever, kind of by themselves without it. And during the Follow Leader tour, though, no, it wasn't at Family Values, but after that, they what they did was the whole concert, and they played Blind at every concert I've been to. They played, and they always played. It's like a staple for the concert, right? And they hadn't played the entire show, so they've done the entire show. They're doing their encore, and you know, people are like essentially looking at each other, going like, "Man, like that's really weird. Why haven't they played Blind yet?" You know. And then the guitar starts, and then they start going the drums, and like everybody's like, oh, getting so excited, getting so pumped, right? And they're just dragging that intro on and on and on, you know? And people are just waiting for Jonathan to go, "Are you ready?" There, people are literally edge of the seats. And as soon as he came out and said, "Are you ready?" From back to front, man, people just charged the stage. That mosh pit was beyond nuts. I couldn't believe it. I mean, and I'm in there, and I'm 6 foot, man, and I'm having trouble kind of keeping myself up and keeping my girlfriend at the time protected. It's like, holy crap! Like the amount of energy that flowed as soon as he did that just was beyond nuts. Like I've never seen that many people just go woof, you know, like literally like almost flood the stage.
Yeah, I love that. I just love it when bands have the whole crowd. It doesn't matter how big the crowd is. Some of these bands have like, almost hundreds of thousands of people. Like if you see Iron Maiden live, they will go to these shows where I don't even know how all these people fit in these parks, and they literally own the crowd. Like they can raise a hand or say something, and people will raise their arms or repeat it or sing it or whatever it is. It's just like they completely own you. I will say one last thing on Korn, which is I don't think he's with them anymore, but the drummer, was it Dave
Silveri? Yeah, Dave Silveri.
He was awesome. He is such a good drummer, like one of the best drummers out there, and that really kind of, I mean, they almost created a genre, didn't they? I actually think, personally, I don't regard them as a new metal band, but new metal kind of became a thing after they came out. And actually what made them really stand out for me was just the rhythm section was so tight, and his drumming was, I just thought it was incredible. I mean, even that little bit on Blind where he's doing the ride and then goes to the bell.
Right.
But as it goes on, some of the rhythms and stuff are really complex, and I don't think it's like timing changes necessarily or stuff. It's just hitting lots of things in the right place at the right time, which is really good. Yeah, quality.
I think they also probably opened up the realm of the 7-string. I mean, there wasn't a lot of bands that really did that before them. You know, they were part of like the big 3 or 4 that did that. I mean, you had Limp Bizkit, the Deftones, Korn,
Fear Factory,
who else?
As well, didn't they?
Fear Factory, yeah.
Well, Limp Bizkit really wasn't 7 strings. I mean, it was more because they had what's his name? Not Joel Waddle, their drummer, but
Wes.
No, not Wes Borland. DJ, what's his name? The guy who was a DJ initially for House of Pain as well. DJ Lethal.
Okay.
But yeah, he more given the extra sound because Wes Borland played with the 6-string as far as I knew. Like, I mean, the stuff I've read on him and stuff he's played, and so they just between that and extra sound effects and Lethal, they kind of made it work for themselves. But man, yeah, we could go on forever about this.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry, we kind of sidetracked enough here. So let's get to our next band here.
We're gonna start to think that the power went out again in London, Ontario, like last week.
Yeah, right, man. That was annoying. Holy Christ! But okay, we'll get to our next song here. The next song is a band called Dolly Spartans, and it's called "It's Not Easy." Dig this. If we can get this to work, and there you have it.
I get out of bed, I try hard to clear my head. It's not easy, not easy. I stay up to 5, I try hard to just survive. It's not easy, not easy. But I try. I try.